Annyeonghaseyo, and hello from New York. I want to congratulate the students from every Dwight campus who are participating in today's first Dwight Schools Climate Conference. Your collaborative problem, solving and environmental action plans to reduce waste are not only impressive, but also reflective of your commitment as IB students to help make our world a better place. Nothing makes us happier than when Dwight students worldwide put their minds and hearts together to share their ideas and voices and to forge solutions to today's pressing challenges. The climate crisis is certainly at the top of that list. We applaud your collective efforts and encourage you to continue leading important initiatives like this on your own campuses and across our global network of schools.
Honorable guests, parents, teachers, and students, welcome to the very first Dwight Schools Climate Conference. I want to begin by giving our thanks to Dr. Blake Spahn, our Vice Chancellor of Dwight Network, for his kind encouragement. My name is Jessica, a junior and the president of the Eco Council here at Dwight School Seoul. It is my greatest pleasure to welcome our Dwight Network with us today, from New York, London, Dubai, Shanghai Qibao, and online global. The idea of the climate conference started last year in our Eco Council action plan. I wanted to reach out to our Dwight network to share each other's environmental activities. From today's conference, I hope we can expand our perspectives, raise awareness of the environmental issues that we face today, and strive to make a change to our environment together. As the initiator of this conference, I would like to highlight the climate conference panel made out of student representatives from each school. In the past few months, the climate conference panel has met virtually despite the time difference to plan the details of the conference together. It is truly astonishing to see the development of the conference these past few months with the contributions of students and teachers from our Dwight network. In today's conference, we aim to share our Dwight Network's environmental initiatives and deliberate action plan to address waste in correlation with United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 12, responsible consumption and production. Each school will share their environmental initiatives and 3 goals they constructed to address the problems of waste in their respective environments. Near the end of the conference, we will celebrate the 3 Dwight Network goals that have been constructed by the Climate Conference panel. This year, we commemorate the 150th year of Dwight's history and celebrate 3.7 billion years of life on Earth. As future world leaders, it is our responsibility to protect our environment and make changes for the better. Today, we come together to ignite our sparks of genius and take a step forward for a better future. For those who are watching from around the world, please feel free to leave any questions in the comment section of our YouTube live stream as we go through the presentations. We will answer your questions during our Q&A session later in the conference. Now I would like to invite Avery, Jacob, Nina, and videographer Lyndon from Dwight, New York, who will be sharing their environmental objects on their school's local issues.
I think some things that Dwight can do to improve and support the environment is to use blue, black, and green bins
in every classroom so students can recycle all their materials, and to advertise the compost bin on the roof so the peels and fruits and vegetables from the lunches can be composted, and then that can be used in the soil for the gardening club.
One way that I think the gardening club helps the Dwight community is just by bringing more green life into the community. The issue that we have at Dwight is a lot of the lunches, especially the school lunches from the middle schoolers, there's often a lot left over and often a lot thrown out.
Hi, so my name is Avery Muir. I'm here with Hookoff Bustos, Nina Hisnauer, and Lyndon Clark, and we're presenting on the Dwight Schools Climate Conference goals for Dwight, New York. So to start, Our school's goals overall are to reduce food waste by placing compost bins in cafeterias and around the school, like on the roofs, promote recycling by including green, black, and blue bins in every classroom, and supporting the green life of our Central Park and Upper West Side community with plants and supporting clubs at our school, such as the Gardening Club.
So here at Dwight, New York, our first goal is to reduce food waste. So every day at Dwight, lots of lunches go to waste, and this food could be composted in order to support the environment. Lots of food goes to waste because we get a lot more food supply in than what actually gets eaten. And in order to support the environment with the food that doesn't get eaten, if it's composted, then it can go back into the earth. We could have compost bins on the roof and in cafeterias and in other rooms where people eat, and students will be exposed to them and be able to utilize them to dispose of their food.
Now we'll be talking about our second goal, which is promoting recycling. We currently have at Dwight, New York, some blue bins, but we want to incorporate 3 different types of bins in each classroom. One, a green bin for paper, secondly, a black bin for trash, and thirdly, a plastic blue bin. Now getting into the third goal.
So our third goal here at Dwight, New York is to support and improve the green life in and around our school and in our community. We want to incorporate plants into the everyday lives of students here at Dwight by putting plants on shelves, hanging pots in windows, putting flowers on window ledges, making a garden on the roof, supporting Central Park and our local community outside the school, which is very close by, and just supporting the overall green life of our community to bring our students together through nature. Thank you again, everyone, for coming. As shown by our examples, Dwight, New York is very excited to support our environment. And just to conclude, we plan to incorporate recycling into students' everyday lives since all 3 colored bins will be in every classroom. We plan to reduce food waste by placing compost bins in large cafeterias and outdoor spaces around our school. And we plan to support the green life at Dwight, New York by planting flowers around the school, as well as more plants in and around the school and neighborhood. We plan to collaborate with the Dwight schools worldwide on future projects such as this in order to support our global community in the future. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Thank you, Dwight, New York. It is truly amazing to see the fantastic work and your meaningful objectives. And special thank you to Anvi, a student from Dwight, New York, for creating our amazing climate conference logo. Now I would like to invite Dwight School Seoul Eco Council to the stage. Curie Han Jimin from grade 11, Jihu Aaron Cherish from grade 10, and Ella from grade 9 to share with us their environmental goals to drive their initiatives at school forward.
Students involved in Eco Council met with key school stakeholders to discuss their Eco Schools action plan for semester 1.
This meeting, we did share a lot of meaningful things and discuss some of the things that we could do as a school together. Today we are here to interview Caesar's Kitchen regarding the World Vegan Day.
과거에 No Meat Day라고 해서 Meatless Day라고 해서
What did you guys plan for Earth Day?
We made eco quiz for upper school and lower school.
And what is the eco quiz?
So the eco quiz is basically like a comprehension quiz that tests the upper school and the lower school students' ability to know their knowledge based on environment.
So we're very proud of how they've continued to grow the Eco Council, continue to involve all members of our community, parents, staff, and students, and we just want them to keep up the great work.
Hello, my name is Curie, and I'm the Vice President of the Eco Council here at Dwight Seoul. I'm very excited and honored to be able to introduce our Eco Council to you and to share the environmental objectives Dwight Seoul will be working towards in the upcoming school year. Here is an overview of what we will be aiming to achieve. Our first goal is to establish a lower school Eco Council. Our second is to establish an indoor gardening system. And our third is to improve how we monitor waste in our school.
Our first objective is to create a lower school eco council. As upper school students, we often feel that we are unaware of the lower school students' knowledge about environmental issues.
Thus, not only will establishing a lower school eco-council help us address this issue, but it will also enable us to take on greater environmental initiatives across the school.
Lower school students will be required to host a meeting every week, as well as 15-minute meetings with the upper school, so we can collaborate and work towards our same goal.
Our second environmental objective is to establish a more comprehensive indoor gardening system. Throughout the year, we have proposed and established 2 hydroponic systems, and with a group of upper school students and the collaboration with grade 2 students, we have grown lettuce, basil, and tomatoes. In the upcoming year, we're planning to establish a more extensive gardening system to grow different kinds of plants and vegetables without being limited to season, and share these grown vegetables and fruits with the cafeteria, which would reduce our carbon footprint. By expanding our indoor gardening system, we are planning to act on the UN Sustainable Goal number 12, responsible consumption and production.
The reason we want to establish a more extensive indoor gardening system, such as a hydroponic system, is because it saves water, reduces use of pesticides in foods, reduces carbon footprints regarding packaging and shipping of food, produces higher yield, and it works in any climate.
Now I'd like to introduce our third environmental objective, which is waste monitoring. And before I begin, I'd also like to mention that we have had a whole school food waste competition in our earlier semester, and in addition, we have consistently participated in composting on our school roof. And so what would the waste management entail? It would be meeting with the facility that manages the waste every 2 months in order to measure waste being produced in our school and to identify areas of improvement. And by doing this, we can elevate awareness about waste produced in our school, and then based on data, we can design initiatives to reduce waste.
Thank you so much for listening to our presentation, and we're very excited to see what the Dwight Network is able to achieve in the next year. Thank you.
Thank you to the Upper School Eco Council for presenting their amazing environmental objectives. Now I would like to invite our special guest of the conference today, Vanessa Rees, Senior Program Manager at GVI. GVI is an environmental organization that initiates programs around the world aligned to the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, as well as the objectives of local partners. Ms. Rees will be joining us live from Thailand, presenting how SDG 12 can help us shape a better future. Please welcome Ms. Rees.
Hi everybody, thank you so much for asking me to join you this afternoon, and it's incredible to see the work that you're already doing. So thank you for taking the time to listen about how you and us together can make a real impact against Sustainable Development Goal 12. I'm sharing my screen now, so I'm hoping that everybody's able to see my screen.
Yes.
There we go, perfect. So as I said, thank you so much for inviting us along today. It's a real honour to be able to talk with you all and to hear the amazing work that you're already achieving. At the end of this short presentation, I will have the opportunity to be able to answer a few questions. So if you do have any questions, please pop them in the chat box, or you'll see this QR code throughout the presentation. Please feel free to follow the link, and then you'll be able to ask us questions or to be able to inquire more about our programs. So who am I? As I said, my name is Vanessa Rees, and I am a Senior Program Manager at GVI. I've now been with GVI for over 5 years, where I started as a volunteer, and then I quickly quickly decided that this was my purpose and this was my goal, because to be able to see the impact that we have on the ground was incredible. So I soon became a staff member, and one of my first roles was looking after school groups, apologies for the background noise, but the school groups and the under 18 groups, which we run throughout our global program system. But now I'm based in Phang Nga, Thailand, and we specialise on coastal conservation. So as you can imagine, all of the different areas that you're looking at are included in our programme, from plastic pollution to coral reef conservation programmes, and specifically working with the Royal Thai Navy for the endangered green sea turtles. It's absolutely incredible to have the opportunity to work directly with people to be able to show and share our experiences. Since I've been with GVI, I've also worked on sustainable projects in Tenerife, in Peru, Cambodia, India, and all parts of Thailand. So I'm really, really pleased to be able to show you a little bit about the work that we do. But initially, why is the SDG number 12 really important? As you can see there are a number of different facts, but we currently live in a world of excess where everybody wants something more, whether or not it's the new designer jeans or whether or not it's the latest type of sushi that's available. We all have that need. But I think point 3 actually really brings it home, is that if we continue at our rate of excess, we will need 3 Earths to be able to support us by 2050. Now, 2050 may seem a long way away. However, those 28 years are going to go like that. And that's really why we need to make that change and make that change now. I always think about water as a resource, and we only have a limited amount of water. So when you take your next glass of water, your next drink from water, then just think you could be drinking dinosaur tears. So how can we help towards achieving the goal? What can we do directly as an individual to be able to have an impact in reducing the global warming that is on track now? When you go to the store, really think, is this something that I really need? Do I need the new designer, or shall I go vintage? I'm really pleased to see over the last few years, the vintage, which we used to call second-hand, has really made headlines, and it's now a really good way of following fashion, but also being kind to our earth as well. We run a number of different programs, both online and in the field, for you to be able to gain additional information of ways in which you can work towards being able to assist the world in making sure that it's a better place to live. We really empower you to go and speak with your friends and families. And also, when you're at the store, it's really important to think about the companies and the products that you're buying. You know, are they adding to plastic pollution? You know, what are the brands that are being found on our beaches? We need to be ensure that we are working with ethical and sustainable businesses at all times. And this is also when you're taking your next steps into your future career. Yeah, being able to have the experience in the field and to be able to make an impact can really help you be able to go further within your career, but also ensuring that you're getting the right company to be able to work with as well. So why do we need to address the changes? As a result of what is happening currently, we've all seen the impact, and these are direct consequences of man-made climate change. So that affects the rise in sea temperatures, the rise in sea levels, which then has an impact on the turtles that we work with here in Phang Nga, because the hotter the sand is, the more females there are. So we need to ensure that balance is kept, along with everything else that you can see in front of you. And this is really why we need to take action, because although these are the direct consequences that we see, we also have the indirect consequences. So if we're not able to sustain, then we also get a loss of biodiversity, we get greater floods, which then leads to a loss and reduction in food, which then leads to hunger and world crisis. So whilst we're looking at Sustainable Development Goal number 12, as you can see, these are all interlinked with all 17 goals. So what can we do about it? It says on there, it's very cliche, but it is definitely the truth. You can be the change. some people think, but if I do it, then nobody else, we're not going to achieve anything on my own. But if everybody thought that, then nothing would happen. Even taking individual responsibilities, then you become together as a collective. And it's great to be able to see that you've already got committees and that you're talking about this, because you really can be the change. You're the person and the groups that can make the difference. And together we'll be able to work to make sure that by 2050, we're not in the position that they're predicting right now. So if you'd like to find out more about the work that we do, or be able to explore how we not only work against number 12, but we work against all 17 different sustainable development goals, and learn more about what we do for climate change and how we work with our schools and our universities and our under 18 programs, then please get in touch. Have a look on the QR code. Please feel free to email with any questions that you may have. We'll get back to you straight away to ensure that we answer all of the questions that you have. So thank you so much for allowing me to speak today. It's been a great experience, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to see some questions somewhere.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rees, for your inspiring presentation.
Are there any questions? Sorry, I can't see. If I stop sharing, then I might be able to see the chat box. I can't see any in a chat box. Does anybody have any questions? I even finished early as well, thinking that you'd have lots of different questions.
Thank you, Ms. Rees. I'm just curious about the work that you're doing in Thailand. Do you mind sharing us more about that?
No, not at all. I could talk about the work that we do for Thailand for probably the next week and take up the whole conference. But we do a number of coastal conservation projects. So primarily we work with the Royal Thai Navy at their Head Start programme. So we work with hatchling turtles up till about 6 to 9 months, and then they're released back into the ocean, because then they're a lot less vulnerable to predators once they go out there. We also work with mangroves, which are a natural protector for defence. They're also a great ecosystem for the nurseries. So it's really important that we protect and plant more forests, so that then the biodiversity will increase there as well. We also do a number of biodiversity surveys, which includes birds, butterflies, snakes, frogs, toads. And then we do a project over on some islands where we do camera trapping data to be able to get those animals that won't come and see us during the day. So a lot of different programs, and then obviously included in that, plastic is huge. So we do beach cleans. We also work with a number of different partners on that to ensure that we offer a sustainable project. We do microplastics, and we work with a university in the UK to be able to deliver our data back, so that then that data can be analysed on a global scale. So lots and lots of different programs and opportunities, including during dry season, so November through till April, we offer a coral reef research program as well. So we've got a nice little reef where we're looking at monitoring and seeing how that's growing and developing, and putting recommendations forward to our partners on that.
Thank you, Ms. Rees. Your projects does sound very interesting. I'm also really curious. Do you have any suggestions for students like us to act on climate change, and also some of the issues that you are dealing with in your projects?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting to be able to have the opportunity to tell you what we're doing with other organisations as well, because we have under 18s that come over, and one of the best things that we hear when people go back is that then they're refusing that plastic bag, because whilst we need to have all of the 3 R's in there, refusing is also a really big part that we try and get across, because do you need that plastic bag? Do you need what it is that you're going to buy? And then when they return home and they send messages through and say, right, okay, this is what I'm doing a beach clean, I'm refusing this, I'm making an impact when I go home. And that's what's really important, is to be able to give you more knowledge and experience for you to go home and then be able to spread the word with your friends and family as well.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the audience? Yeah. Thank you so much, Ms. Rees. We will get back
Excellent.
to you with more questions. And thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the conference and good luck. And I hope that we hear from you soon so that then we can see how the projects develop, because the recycling ones and the indoor gardens sound absolutely incredible. So well done to everybody that presented earlier. And thanks again for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Capcom Mata.
Thank you again to Ms. Rees. And this marks our first half of the climate conference. We will begin our second half of the conference joined by Dwight Online Global, Dubai, and London after 10 minutes of intermission. See you soon. Welcome back to our very first Dwight Schools Climate Conference. We now have students from Dwight Dubai who will be sharing their presentation live. Please give a warm round of applause to Emma, Tanya, Elian, and Saham from the class of 2026 to present their initiatives and goals for their new Dubai campus.
Sustainability at Dwight School Dubai has taken many faces, from a tree planting project to build a greener Dubai to various recycling and upcycling projects. We have saved more than 200 kg of plastic waste from ending up in landfills and oceans. From raising awareness at the Expo 2020 on helping countries heavily impacted by climate change to encourage action within on helping countries heavily impacted by climate change to encouraging action within our community through Sustainability Week. Dwight School Dubai is committed to build a better future for all. My fellow classmates will now share their 3 initiatives for the next academic year.
Hi, my name is Tanya, and I'll present the first initiative, which is to reduce plastic consumption by 80%. We will encourage students to bring refillable water bottles and make use of the water fountains. In case students need to purchase a water bottle, they can buy a biodegradable Dwight water bottle that our students designed during Spark Week. Alongside, we will partner with Degrade, which is a local recycling company, to send up our plastic consumption we collected to the recycling bins planted across Dwight. It is important to reduce plastic consumption as the production of plastic requires an enormous amount of energy and resources, which causes carbon emissions and contributes to global warming. You may be wondering why. Well, sunlight and heat cause plastic to release powerful greenhouse gases, leading to an alarming feedback loop. As our climate changes, the planet gets hotter, the plastic breaks down into more methane and ethylene, increasing the rate of climate change and so perpetuating the cycle. New scientific studies have shown that plastic is responsible for almost 4% of the world's total greenhouse gas emissions. That's twice as much carbon emissions that the aviation industry produces. Plastic is therefore a major contributor to global warming. Thank you.
The second initiative that we will take is to recycle all of the paper that we use here in school. Currently, we recycle roughly 210 kilos of paper per year, and our goal is to increase that amount by 100%. We will achieve this through our partnership with the Emirates Environmental Group, which is an organization that was established in 1991 and strives to both raise awareness about environmental issues, but also tackle issues regarding climate change. What are the benefits to recycling paper? Well, studies show that recycling paper yields many positive environmental and also economical advantages, some of which include, but are not limited to, a reduction of deforestation, a reduction in waste, it conserves natural resources, it can be cheaper than other disposal methods, such as incineration, and due to the staff required to operate recycling plants, recycling paper also creates opportunities for new jobs. Thank you.
Our third initiative is to monitor and reduce our overall energy consumption. To do this, we will be installing motion-sensored lighting, tap aerators to reduce water consumption, and energy-efficient lighting. We would also be adding energy-saving features to the AC thermostat. This would include restricting the range of temperatures of the thermostat. All of these actions are in the process of being implemented in our new campus. To continuously track our energy consumption, we would cooperate with the facilities manager to go through our DEWA bills. DEWA is Dubai's Electricity and Water Authority. Through this, we can also monitor which areas of the campus are using the most energy and further implement actions to reduce it. Through implementing all of these goals, we aim to reduce our overall energy, paper, and plastic consumption and hope to create a positive change in our school. Thank you.
Thank you, Dwight Dubai. We look forward to your collaboration with local organizations in Dubai. And I think collaborating with local organizations is something that all Dwight schools can do. We will see you again in our Q&A session. Next, we have Sarah from grade 11 and Kendall from grade 11 from Online Global, who will be presenting their objectives on energy consumption.
Hello everyone at Dwight Seoul and from all around the world. My name is Sarah Paul and I'll talk to you about Dwight Global Sustainability Actions. We have sustainability clubs, each with a different focus. Some focus on ecology, some on human rights or environmental justice. We work on different projects, including raising environmental awareness through social media platforms. We participated in this year's Global Issues Network conference, presenting on the effect of the pandemic on the climate landscape. We also took part in City Nature Challenge 2022, which is about taking photos of wildlife in our communities and cities. We had a conference for Earth Day and met with experts in the field of sustainable tech. It was a super interactive conference. We got to share opinions and ask many questions. So essentially, what our online school does best is raising environmental awareness through online mediums. We put a lot of focus on students engaging with their communities and making global impact there and doing group research projects that we can easily do from home on our laptops. All right, so hi, I'm Sarah.
Hi, I'm Kendall.
And now we'll talk to you about the 3 objectives for Dwight Global. So as opposed to other Dwight schools with a physical building and electricity bill, Dwight Global's waste problem is not necessarily plastic or food waste, but rather our energy consumption. So the question here is, where do we get our energy from? This is where we get to talk about the digital carbon footprint. Kendall, can you just please explain what the digital carbon footprint is?
Yes, of course. A digital carbon footprint is the CO2 emissions resulting from the production, use, and data transfer of digital devices and infrastructures. So things that could cause a bigger or larger digital carbon footprint is using the usage of Zoom or Canvas or any other form of accessing the internet.
Right, so now that we know that energy consumption is the issue that we want to tackle, we want to understand what platforms make up Dwight's digital infrastructure and therefore calculate or find out if we can calculate Dwight's energy consumption. Maybe some of these platforms even work with renewable energy sources. So our first objective would be to identify the problem and have the numbers for Dwight's energy consumption, and then see how big are the CO2 emissions connected to Dwight Global's energy consumption. Then the next objective would be to find a solution, and the best solution is not always one solution, but sometimes a mixture of different alternatives. So we would research clean energy alternatives, measure the change it would have on Dwight's energy consumption, see is it worth it, and then determine the best solution economically and also technically. And our third and last objective would be to look for funding. So we would write a proposal for the different solutions that we've come up with and present it to the headmasters of our school, promote the idea to receive funding, and this can be achieved through campaigns and online events. The next objective is more like an ambition, a broader ambition, which is to take it global. So since if it works out, which we really hope if it works out with Dwight Global, we would see how we could integrate this goal of reducing our energy consumption at other physical Dwight campuses. Now, Kendall, how could we best achieve these objectives?
Yes, we can do this through the Climate Committee, which will be working with all the Dwight campuses to promote eco-conscious values and projects that will help to make our schools more sustainable. Through all these objectives that were recently proposed, we will be working all together to become more sustainable.
Yeah, so we would love you to join us on this mission to reducing Dwight's energy consumption, starting with Dwight Global. Our emails are from a DG23 SPAHL at Dwight Global, Dwight.global. And Kendall, would you like to share your email?
And mine is DG23 KRJUNARJOON at Dwight.global.
Yeah, so feel free to reach out to us. Thank you for listening, and we're excited to see what other objectives we have planned for the Dwight community.
Thank you, Dwight Global. I think energy consumption is an area for the Dwight Network to take action together. Now I would like to invite Finn, Year 11, Manasa, Year 10, and Damitha, Year 12 from Dwight, London. They will be joining us with students from Everest English Schools in Bhaktapur, Nepal, whom they collaborated with. Please welcome them with a round of applause. Hello.
Hello, so we're from Dwight London, and we're going to present the climate action we're taking. And we're also going to be joined by a school from Nepal who will be presenting after us. So Dwight London participates in and is home to environmental activities and climate-focused activities. And here are a few.
The Sustainability Club was established at the beginning of this term, and the club focuses on creating solutions to maintain or increase the sustainable and environmentally friendly aspect of the school. And we have, as a group, we've come up with a list of short-term and long-term goals that we would like to achieve by the end of this term and through the following years. We sent out a survey. We sent out a survey to the staff and teachers and students asking their opinions on what were the most important issues that we should focus on. And one of the major problems that the school faces is recycling. A lot of people dispose of their waste in the wrong bins, and which creates a huge problem for the local council in terms of recycling and general waste. And the cause of this is due to the bins not being labelled clearly and being in inefficient places. And so as a group, we have made bin labels to stick on bins, and we've grouped a couple of bins to make sure that people know that this is the right bin and that's the wrong bin, and so on. In our playground, there are a lot of people who are in basketball, football during break or lunch, and for those sitting outside, there's a huge risk of being hit or being disturbed or interrupted. One of our ideas was to create a nature corner or a secret garden, as we say, where people could enjoy lunch without being hit. As part of this, there would be inaugural plants and small hedges surrounding a couple of these benches here. And this connects to a project that was started a couple of years ago called GAS, Group Action Stopping Pollution. And the group, the help of students within the community, they collected many plants and plant pots to place within the school to provide more oxygen. The Sustainability Club is now pushing that initiative once again to get more plants in the classrooms and the so-called secret garden. The sustainability group, we have also talked to our school, Ms. Bedders, and our principal, Mr. Barry, asking for the permission and thoughts, and they have given us the go-ahead for all our ideas.
Dwight London has signed up to an initiative called Plastic Free Schools. This is a pupil-led program that helps fight single-use plastic. It was started in 2017 to help students understand the issues of plastic consumption and take action. This program will help continue our school's plastic reduction journey. Some of these goals we have set for ourselves include eliminating all non-reusable plastics on Dwight sites, implementing multi-purpose bins, and requesting suppliers deliver plastic-free or more sustainable packaging.
So the Tree Twinning Project, in partnership with NEP schools, in 2019, we received recognition from Barnet's Council Mayor for being the first school to start an innovative project on tree twinning. To date, we've now planted over 1,120 trees in Frying Barnet Open Bridge area designated to Dwight School London. This has been reciprocated in Nepal by Nepalese students. This journey has had the support of the local community and most of all our DPA, who have been in the past raised and recently helped plant over 100 trees. We aim to plant another 420 trees, which are coming our way in November. And we are now going to go into detail on that project. So one tree planted in the UK is reciprocated by Nepalese students to plant another tree in Nepal. Our target is 2,000 trees by 2020. And the goal is to get students in the UK and Nepal to act local and think global, to support reforestation in each other's countries and tangibly participate in the climate change agenda. The project has been led by Amita Sen, who's the head of personalised learning at Dwight School London. So in 2020 and 2021, 900 plus trees were planted in Nepal by Nepalese schools in the local community. And students and local communities have taken ownership to develop sustainability. Here's a timeline of the involvement. So it started when our old head of school, Cobbin, visited Nepal, and then Dwight students visited Nepal after that. And then we had an exchange where Nepalese students then visited the UK and created an eco garden at Dwight London. And then the Barnet Deputy Mayor, so the Deputy Mayor of our local area, inaugurated the tree twinning at Dwight School London. We planted saplings in November 2020. And then the mayors of Barnet also got involved and started planting in March 2021. Then we won a Woodland Trust Gold Plaque Award. And then we reached 1,120 saplings out of our target of 1,000 in 2021. So now we're going to hear from students at Everest English School on their own waste management. So we believe that we have a lot to learn about waste management as a school, and that those facing the immediate effects of climate change are the best equipped to teach us. So a team from students from Everest English School will now be giving a presentation on their own waste management.
Namaskar and warm welcome. Namaskar and warm welcome to everyone. We are from Nepal. We are representing today every single school which is located in Bhaktapur. So we know that there are lots of biodiversity in Nepal, but due to climate change, many animals and plants are going to extinct, right? So our students are working, how can we conserve the environment? We have set a meeting there and they have shared their ideas. They will share their ideas here. So first of all, I would like to introduce my team. Me, myself is Bandana Singh TK, teacher of Everest English School, and we have Muskan Karki and Niral Basukala from grade 7. Similarly, we have Prayag Raj Patrai and Sneha Joshi from grade 8. I would like to request Prayag to give his view with us.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So let's talk about the impact of climate change in Nepal. The impact of climate change in Nepal is high, due to which many plants are going extinct. We can list some of the causes of why this is happening. Due to the uncontrollable and unmanaged population growth, use of natural resources have been increased. There is loss and degradation of natural habitats and unplanned and rapid urbanization and industrialization. The loose zoning laws and deforestation, uh, pollution, as well as lack of awareness regarding environmental conservation. People are still dependent on fossil fuel rather than renewable resources. There is lack of strict laws and its implementation against environmental destruction. So, can we still overcome? Can we still control the impact of climate change in Nepal and in the whole world? Then our answer is yes, we can. And the given picture is our building of Everest English School, and we can see a very eco-friendly environment in our school. Now let's talk about eco-friendly activities adopted by our school. Our school have generated and our school have been generating and using solar energy, and we are up to 20% reliant on it. We also use rainwater harvest method, and we are up to 50% reliant on it. Due to that, we are less reliant on trucked in water. Our we have a proper waste management system, and we give high priority to afforestation. We also give high priority to homemade food, and we do not promote any kind of junk food. As we all know, plastic is a main cause of pollution, so there is restriction of plastic in our school. We promote 4R principle, which means reduce, reuse, recycle, and responsibility. We make useful items from waste materials. We conduct Best from Waste program every year in our school. And we are involved in several kind of clubs such as Eco and Friends of Zoo Club. Now I'd like to request my friend Neha to continue the presentation.
Thank you, my friend Prayat. Now I'm going to talk about waste management. As we know, waste management is very important as it helps to conserve the environment and manage pollution. If waste management is not done properly, many problems such as environmental pollution, increment of diseases, destruction of habitat for local flora and fauna, etc. may arise. We Everestians are always eager to conserve the environment. We plant trees, conserve our school environment and local areas too. Here are some pictures of Everestians planting trees in our school surroundings and local areas. Here are some pictures of grade 9 students helping to clean a community park. In our school, we also organize Waste from Waste programs every year. In the Waste from Waste programs, the students collect all the non-degradable waste materials in their homes and turn them into something creative and useful. Here at Everest, we believe that waste is not waste until we stop using it. Here are the pictures of some products made from waste material. These are the pictures of the Waste from Waste exhibition held in our school. Now I'm going to talk about waste management in our locality. In our municipality or locality Bhaktapur, waste management is taken seriously. In our locality, degradable wastes are used to make organic fertilizers for plants, and non-degradable wastes are either reused or recycled. Problems of waste management in some places. Even though people are trying to manage it, some people throw waste in water sources and excrete and urinate around these water sources. This has caused water pollution in some water sources of our locality. Now I would like to request my brother Nira Baskala to continue this presentation.
Thank you, Sneha sister, for allowing me to continue this presentation on collaboration with Dwight School of London, NTNC Central Zoo and Friends of Zoo of Nepal, and had conducted the tree twinning project partnership at the buffer zone area of Tarkeshwar and Shivapuri Nagarjun National Park on 15 September 2021. The tree twinning partnership aims to get students in the UK and Nepal to act local and think global and support reforestation programs in each other's countries. Here we can see some memories of the tree twinning program from 2021. Here we can see some pictures of people planting trees despite of lockdown. Now I will request my friend Muskan Karki to continue this presentation.
Thank you, my friend Nero, for giving me this opportunity to present the presentation. And as you can see in the slide that peoples are, someone is trying to save the earth environment by planting trees and also saving plant because it helps to reduce the climate change and also reduce the natural disasters. And in the slide, there is a picture which implies that the mother nature has given us the responsibility and to save the environment. So to conserve the environment, we need to do eco-friendly activities, plant trees, and do other activities which can save our environment because, of course, environment conservation is our responsibility. At last, we would like to thank our beloved advocacy school network, National Trust for Nature Conservation Hall, and our precious Delight School London for giving us this huge opportunity to present in front of you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dwight London and Everest English Schools, for your amazing presentations. It is truly inspiring to see student environmental actions from our Dwight network, as well as their goals for next school year. Now I would like to invite everyone in this auditorium to our 10-minute Q&A session with student representatives of Dwight London, Dubai, Seoul, and Shanghai Qibao Dwight High School. We will also be inviting a student from Qibao Dwight High School, as mentioned, Gloria Ge Gao, grade 11. Our Eco Council team, Curie and I, will be asking the questions that have been commented on in our live stream throughout the conference. Please welcome them with a round of applause.
Do we have any questions from the live audience here at Dwight Seoul? We have one question.
Hello.
Hi there. I was hoping someone could tell a story about maybe someone in your school community who might have been maybe a little bit skeptical or cynical about some of the initiatives that you're putting on, and maybe a way in which you've been able to win them over and help them see the value in what you're doing. Yeah, I mean, anyone who's able to answer would be great.
Dwight London, are you still there?
Yeah, we're here. We were just saying that everyone's been really on board with like our activities, and there hasn't been much skepticism.
Okay, and we also have questions for Nepal.
Hi. You listed many impacts about climate change in your school, and we were wondering which ones you were most surprised by.
Nepal, can you hear us?
Yes, we can.
We have a question for you.
Yes, please.
You listed many ways that climate change has impacted you in Nepal. We were wondering which one you were most surprised by or have been most affected by.
Um, Sorry, can you repeat the question?
You mentioned many ways how you've been affected by climate change, or Nepal has seen the effects of climate change. We were wondering if you could give some more of your opinions.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the questions. As we know that the climate change affects the whole world, even in Nepal, there are lots of different type of plants and animals in Nepal, but due to climate change, they are going to disappear, right? So we are acting from our side, our school and locality, they are trying to manage the waste and afforestation. So we are promoting 3R principle, 4R principles in our locality, waste managing waste and giving priority to afforestation. And we are using renewable, we are trying to depend upon renewable resources, just like solar energy, then after rainwater harvesting, instead of fossil fuels, right? So we hope that act which we are doing that they help us to preserve our environment. And even in Everest University School, we manage the waste. And the waste which is produced in the school, they are segregated, and degradable waste are converted into manure, which is used in the plant here. But non-degradable wastes, they are safely kept at a corner, and we sell it, and the price which we get from there, we spend those costs to in some good things, right? Just like we have a budget fund also. In this budget fund, we donate some amount of money by each and every student, and even from teacher, all the staff, school, instead of celebrating it, right? So we collect the money, and then after we donate that money, we buy books and other necessary things, and we donate those materials to the needy person, to the rural areas. And uh, we mostly like to promote afforestation. So when our SC student pass out from here, SC, that means grade 10, instead of celebrating it by doing any type of parties, we plant tree here. Uh, in name of their band, just like 2070, 77 or 78, like that, we plant tree and we take care of those tree here. We are doing like this, and we like to get more ideas, and we like to work together with the other school and country together to enhance our environment condition.
Thank you so much. We now have a question for the student from Dwight
Thank you.
Shanghai.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Gloria, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. So my first question to you is, what environmental initiatives did your community do?
Okay, so last semester, firstly, semester we built a greenhouse for students at the environmental club to apply with what they've learned in class to real practice. And they also have a chance to showcase what they have accomplished in our annual science fair events. And beside that, starting from this year, we've launched a series of activities under the theme of Earth Day. And some activities are nature and environmental writing, compost regrowing competition, as well as water footprint challenge. So these two might be the environmental initiatives done by our big groups. However, some of our students have also done their individual projects on environmental issues. For example, last year, my teammates and I had our research on how to reduce food waste in our school canteen, while some of my friends have done their investigation on topics like plant-based meat promotion, as well as sustainable fashion.
Oh, that sounds very, very interesting. And also, a follow-up question. Do you mind sharing some future initiatives that your school will implement to respond to some of the waste problems in your school?
So in the future, we're planning to gather students, faculties, as well as parents to form our eco committee for tackling a lot of environmental issues and also for the eco school program. So after we form that committee, hopefully we're able to connect different clubs, for example, gym club or biology club, as well as individuals at our school to form our local goals to reduce the burden or just the pollution we create for the environment. I know Dwight is also part of the Eco School program, so we're very looking forward to carrying out actions to raise awareness and promote green actions at Chibok Dwight as a member of the Dwight community.
Thank you so much, Gloria. Now we would like to ask the audience if they have any more questions.
Hello. Hi. I have a question for Dwight Dubai, if you're still with us. Maybe not. Or my question, maybe another school can help us with this. At Dwight Seoul, we are trying to reduce our plastic consumption on site. We know that recycling is a good way of reducing our impact, but we also know that a way of making this a more sustainable program would be to just reduce plastic in the first place. So I wonder if any other schools have had success in reducing their plastic consumption on campus, and if you have, how have you managed to do that?
Ms. Heather, do you want to direct it to a specific school?
Yeah, I was hoping Dwight Dubai would be there, but maybe Dwight London. Have you had any success with reducing your plastic consumption on campus?
Yeah, Tamika's just
Yes,
talk about
so through plastic-free schools, we eliminated a single-use plastic in the cafeteria. We got rid of plastic fruit bowls, and we replaced them with glass.
And cutlery.
And cutlery, yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I think that wraps up our Q&A session today. And so, yep.
If there are any other questions, please feel free to share them with us, and we'll be very happy to share them with the respective schools.
Yes, and also some questions on the live stream comments for Dwight Global and Dwight New York will be shared with those schools respectively. Okay, and that wraps up our Q&A session. It was very meaningful to have discussions with our Dwight Network schools. Thank you for your active participation, and thank you for joining us live in London and Dubai. As the closing of the conference approaches, we will now present the Dwight Network goals, deliberated by staff, teachers, and students from the Dwight Network. Now I would like to invite Mr. Hayter, head of school at Dwight Seoul, on stage to announce and give us a closing speech. Please welcome Mr. Hayter to the stage.
Thank you, Jessica, and good afternoon, everyone. Joining us here in the auditorium here at Dwight School Seoul and around the world at the other Dwight schools and part of the Dwight Network. I'd like to thank you again for letting me be part of this wonderful event and begin with a big congratulations to all of our students throughout the Dwight Network for your work and your accomplishments with the first ever Dwight Network Climate Conference. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize our Eco Council here at Dwight Seoul and to recognize Jessica O, the initiator for today's conference. I remember a few months ago when Jessica came and presented to our senior leadership team, and shared this idea, and we thought, wow, this is just what Dwight students embody. This is who they are, taking action and taking initiative. So big congratulations to you, Jessica, and to all of your team for putting this together. I do know this isn't just one person that brings an event like this together. We do have a large number of staff and students here who supported our Eco Council, and a number of our students who participated today that brought this conference together. So thank you to all of you and to all of our students around the world for their participation. You know, the future of the global climate and the worrisome challenges it faces is on all of our minds, and is something that not only requires awareness and attention, but more notably, action. And this is what all of you have done here today. By making your pledge of 3 climate goals for each of your schools, this is the action that you've taken, and it's one more step to promoting and securing a future that is sustainable and responsible. And I know I speak for everyone when we thank all of you for that. It's one step, though, and I know our Dwight students from not just here in Seoul, but around the world, and you guys don't stop here. I know that you will continue to forge ahead and play an instrumental role in climate change today, tomorrow, and the future. You will be leaders in many things in life, and I hope it is continue to be with climate change to help keep our world sustainable and safe for the future. So congratulations to all of you once again. We look forward to a Dwight Network Climate Conference in 2023 and continued efforts for sustainability for our future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hayter, for your wonderful closing speech. Now I would like to take the last moment of this climate conference to announce the 3 objectives. 1. Proposing Dwight School's budget for environmental projects. 2. Establishing a shared action plan with the Dwight Climate Committee across all Dwight schools. And 3. Establishing outreach community projects under the theme of greenhouse gas emissions that involves local or global community. The Dwight Network environment goals will be shared and signed by all Dwight schools, including Shanghai Qibao. We will all strive to achieve the goals that we formulated by our next climate conference in 2023. It has truly been a great journey to develop the climate conference with the Dwight Network. It is a true privilege to be a part of this community, and I hope that we can make positive impacts on our environment together. Thank you to everyone who participated in the conference today, especially for our climate conference panel for making the conference together. I would also like to share my greatest gratitude to Ms. Heather, Ms. Chloe, Mr. Minjin, Mr. Burke, and Mr. Hayter for their immense support during the whole process. Thank you to all our wonderful student speakers, teachers, and staff, without whom this conference would not have been possible. Thank you, and see you next year.